Going live. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Okay to Tell Day. I am broadcasting now on Precious Little Ladies, PLL Nonprofit, our YouTube page, PLL Nonprofit, and also on my YouTube page, I am Aziza Kibibi. So, Precious Little Ladies, and to the left of me, I have my TikTok family. So, Precious Little Ladies Incorporated, our mission is to combat child molestation, domestic violence, and sexual assault by strengthening the bonds between mothers and daughters. And we do that through education, workshops, videos, media, support, activism. We create PSAs to share. We are on the radio. I mean, we are all over the place because we have to access as many people as possible in order to help put an end to child molestation, incestuous abuse, domestic violence, and sexual assault. So just really briefly, a little bit about me and why I started Precious Little Ladies Incorporated. I was molested and abused from a very young age, from 8 years old, by my biological father. He molested me. He started raping me at 12. He started raping me at 10. He deemed me his sex slave. I then was impregnated by him at 15 years old. And over the years, I have had 4 children for him. 4 children that actually were born. I did have a miscarriage, so that's 5 pregnancies altogether. In the process of me escaping, which took a long time, I did not have the opportunity, or what I felt was that I didn't have the opportunity until I was 24 years old. And during that process, I lost my children to authorities. I had to figure out my life. I had to figure out the world. My children were born at home, delivered by my father. So I did not have birth certificates for them or social security numbers. And I had to figure out how to get all that stuff. Now, in my quest, I could not find resources. I could not find people to help me. Even the state that I lived in, vital statistics, the people that usually report births in this state, they didn't even know how to help me. So I was inspired to start an organization that would create programs that would support and advocate for people who have been affected by childhood sexual abuse, incestuous abuse, domestic violence, and sexual assault. So I'm going to play a quick video explaining more about It's Okay.
Reports say that 1 in 4 girls are molested before they turn 18. But in reality, those statistics are only based on what has been reported to authorities, which estimates to be only 12% of actual incidents. Because of the shame and guilt sexual abuse causes in victims, combined with the negativity associated to tattling, children are likely not to report being abused. They fear getting in trouble or even feel responsible for what happened to them. A child is then more likely to keep the secret and the abuse continues. March 16th is It's Okay to Tell Day, and a day that parents can use as a tool to encourage open conversation with their children. The month of March, It's Okay to Tell Month, is a time to encourage survivors to speak out unashamed. Let's teach the world that it's okay to tell. For more information on Precious Little Ladies, call 1-877-TELL-PLL, and remember, you are not alone.
My grandfather was... We're back. So yes, that was a video that explained what It's Okay to Tell Day is about. Now, my own personal experience, my youngest son, he's 14 years old, and he looks forward to the day every year because he sees it as an opportunity to get stuff off of his chest. So I have to prepare myself as a parent, because when he shares with me the things that he is going through in his life, I don't know. It's weird. It feels weird because as a mom who would love to protect my children from the world, you know, it's like I can't be with him 24/7. He's going to have his own experiences. He's going to interact with different people, and I have no control over that. And especially as a teenager, as a teenage boy, he's going to be experimenting and he's having his experience with girls. So now I am really glad that he uses It's Okay to Tell Day as an opportunity to share with me some of the things that he probably didn't feel comfortable sharing, because he knows that even though I wouldn't judge him anyway, I would not judge him anyway. I'd give him some guidance, but apparently he feels more reassured on March 16th. I chose March 16th because it is the day that my youngest daughter, that was fathered by my father, passed away. I mean, not passed away, she was born. It was the day she was born. So my daughter, Uokukunre Ofure Ayinde, today is her birthday. I miss her dearly. And I thought that it was a great day for her to commemorate, you know, in this way, because she was a result of incestuous abuse. I mean, my father raped me when I got pregnant with her. So I thought that using this day, her birthday, as a way, as something positive was important. So other than that, last year we celebrated by bringing a guest on. So we did the same kind of broadcast, but we brought a guest on. Her name is Dr. Sharon Rodriguez. And in tandem with It's Okay to Tell Day, we have an Amazon tablet giveaway. So we encourage families to fill out a survey that allows them to contribute their insight and their experiences to our library of parents, to our members, so that we could really get the input to help develop our programs, one, and also to help each other, because, you know, as parents, we do have to be each other's support system, and the survey really encourages that. So it allows the participants an opportunity to share their thoughts and experiences and give some tips on how you can keep communication open with your children in order to protect them and to prevent abuse. So I'm going to play the clip. Oh, that application is still open. So y'all on TikTok, if you go to preciouslittleladies.org, the application is still open. Normally it's cut off by the 16th, but we're going to let it go for the whole month. So then you have an opportunity to earn a kid's tablet. All right. What was that? Okay, so we're going to go to the next clip. It is a conversation between myself and Dr. Rodriguez, where we'll talk about one of the tips that a participant shared. Building confidence in your children. She says, as a person who suffered a traumatic experience as a child, I always try my best to have good communication with my daughters. Okay. I let them know that they can come to me and let me know of any issues they are experiencing. I tell them that no matter what, I will not judge them. I reassure them that I am their mother and I will always look out for them. I've spoken to them and told them that if they feel that anyone is making them uncomfortable, to always tell me. They know that they are to be respected. I have told them that it is okay to tell, because no matter what the issue may be or who the issue is with, I will always believe them and I will always be there for them. I am a mother first, and it is my job to always look out for my children. So, Dr. Rodriguez, I mean, aside from the fact, I do feel like, and maybe you've experienced this, I do feel like parents who have experienced sexual abuse are a little more, you know, gung-ho about warning and protecting their children. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, they can be, or it can be the complete opposite. They will allow it to happen. You know,
wow, that's something.
Which is an area that is very sensitive.
Yeah,
especially to the client, especially to the person who's experiencing now, even if their parent experienced it. I love this parent that she says that she tells her daughter, even if they feel uncomfortable. So it doesn't have to be the actual touching.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the feeling of feeling uncomfortable, because then it'll open the communication lines to, so what made you feel uncomfortable? What was it? Was it a look, or was it something that was said, or was it the body language, you know? So that's really, really, really important.
Right, I agree. And parents need to recognize that children are extremely receptive. You know, they're extremely receptive to adults, I think. And I know, like, for me, my background is Southern on my father's side and West Indian on my mom's side. And as children, we was always, you know, you're pushed to hug the aunt or uncle or to greet out of respect. But when it comes down to it, you know, if you want to really establish in your child and give he or she that confidence and that agency over her own body, then I don't agree with forcing a child to hug or kiss anyone, you know, if they really don't want to.
Okay, so that was Dr. Sharon Rodriguez. She specializes in um, crisis prevention. She works with teenagers at East Orange Campus High School, and she is a PLL board member. Yay. So, you know, and just to let you know, as a note, for anybody who contributed to the survey, so for the lovely woman that shared her insight, she was a recipient of a tablet for her child. She signed off on sharing her information. So we want to respect the privacy of all of those who contribute to the survey. And you do have the option to be anonymous and not have your information shared. So I just want to, you know, let you all know that. Just a little bit more information about PLL. Precious little ladies, I want to show some statistics. So interestingly enough, 1 in 3 adults would not believe a child if they disclose sexual abuse. We have to do better. We definitely have to do better, because if a child tells you that they are being harmed, which one is better? Let's just say that they are not telling the truth. Let's just say they're lying. I'm not saying that that is not possible. It is possible. But what would be the repercussions if you believe the child? Recently, there was a case in New Jersey where a law enforcement agent received a tip that a teacher was abusing his students. These students were in, I believe, 8th or 9th grade. And the detective started surveilling the teacher. Went as far as to follow the teacher with a student, watch them in his car, in the teacher's car, see them leave, and the detective never reported it. You want to know why? Because he did not want to ruin the teacher's reputation in case there was an innocent explanation for what he saw. Now, what do y'all think? Do y'all think it's better to save the teacher's reputation, or is it better to consider this child who is going to grow up into an adult and be damaged for the rest of their lives because they were exploited, because they were put in a position where they felt like they didn't have power? So it is. So this statistic is shocking to me. That's 33% of adults. That's way too much. Would not believe a child. And I have experienced it. I have experienced things myself where even now as an adult, as I share my story, people have commented and said, well, why didn't you say anything sooner? Or question the fact that because the abuse went on so long, then I must have enjoyed it. But as a child, you have not yet formulated some differences between right, and wrong. And you are definitely led to believe that you have to depend and believe everything that the parents, the people in your life that are meant to govern and teach you, says and does. So even when I felt doubt, because I was in pain, I was in physical pain, I was in emotional pain, I was in psychological pain, I was suffering, and I knew I was suffering. But you know what? Parents beat their kids, right? All the time. Corporal punishment is legal still. So a child experienced pain when they filled the belt. Does that mean that, that they have decided, or they can formulate, hey, this is wrong or this shouldn't be done? No, because we're guiding children. So when my father said that what he was doing was right, I believed him, even though it was hurting me. And a lot of children are put into that position. So another statistic I'd like to share here is 60% of child molesters are someone the victim knows. So I bring this up specifically in connection to the recommendation that the parent who wrote in said, as far as building confidence in your child and teaching them to trust their own instincts, is because oftentimes the abuser is someone who the child trusts. And the fact of the matter is, even if a child trusts somebody, they will still get the feeling, the spidey sense that something is not right. And we have to teach our children to trust that feeling. That being the case, in order for them to learn to trust their feeling, we have to trust their feelings as well. So I have never been, even though, yes, I was, when I was younger, of course, my mom made me go and hug an uncle or a cousin, an older cousin, that I did not want to. I was not interested at all. So with my own children, I never made them do anything that they was not comfortable doing. If they didn't want to give their aunt a kiss, nope, you don't have to. If they didn't want to hug their aunt, no, they don't have to. Now, yes, there's still respect. Yeah, you say hello, you're a child, you walk into a room of adults, you greet the adults, but physical contact, that is up to them. If they don't want to have physical contact, or they are uncomfortable around somebody who is a family member or a close friend, then no, they don't have to. I don't make them. Because abusers uses that connection against them. Excuse my fumbling. So that's really what we're all about, really keeping communication open. That's what It's Okay to Tell Day is for, keeping communication open and developing that open communication. Yes, it's only one day. But the idea is to teach parents, or to help parents to incorporate this type of thinking in their relationships with their children overall. Believe your child when they tell you that they are uncomfortable. Do not guilt and shame them if they tell you about a situation they may have gotten into or someone else put them into. They have to know that they could depend on you. And one thing I particularly suggest to parents is to help the child identify, because of course I have to take my consideration, my experience into consideration, and that is, it was my own father. And I'm sure people can say, well, Aziza, if we're teaching children to trust their parents, how about your dad, and how about your mom? Well, then there is a backup. Develop a relationship. Help your child develop a relationship with someone outside of the nuclear family, that if something goes awry over here, then they know that they could go to auntie, uncle, cousin, so-and-so, and they will believe them and they will know. So I think it's one of them kind of emergency tree things where you just have someone that you know that you can go to, where you teach a child they have someone that they could go to. In my case, I felt that person would have been my grandmother, but again, it was so much unsurety, and I think that my father did think, he suspected, that the relationship that I had or was developing with my grandmother when I was little was a threat. So what he did was that he stopped us from talking to her. And eventually he completely moved us away from their vicinity. So by the time I was having children, we had no contact and no communication with my mother's family. But other than that, this is our second broadcast. We did one earlier at 12 p.m. There was some technical difficulties, so we are doing it again. But for those who missed it, this broadcast will be housed on the PLL Nonprofit YouTube channel. And please definitely subscribe, like, follow, and share. And go down in the comments and share your own experiences and your own information or any tips or resources, because we as a community, we have to come together. They say it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to protect a child. So we need to do that. We need to do that. And for all of the survivors out there, we are with you. We are supporting you. And if you need any information, any more support, or any resources, please email info@preciouslittleladies.org. That's info@preciouslittleladies.org. Or you can text 1-877-TELL-PLL. On that note, be blessed, for you are a blessing. Remember, you're not alone, and it's okay to tell.